Hello everyone and welcome to another video and episode number 2 of The Wintering, which I think I should hire a voice actor for, but they're probably quite expensive, so for the time... There we go. Say that again. Had one right next to me. Who could have seen that coming? Johnny's actually got a very, very good voiceover voice, so... Voiceover voice? Or just voice? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, we are in the car park at the Pentlands as we're about to go up and blast about a little bit. Saturday morning, horrible weather, which is very fitting for what this series is aiming to achieve. If you haven't seen episode number 1 already, please head back and do so. Brief for today is just about sort of 2 to 3 hours of list pacing up in the hills. Going to be very, very muddy, still raining, about 5 degrees. Was due to snow overnight, so that is good news. But we are packed up and ready to go. Before we go any further, a couple things to request from you. First of all, if any stage you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like and subscribe down below, and do drop a comment with your thoughts and feelings, as it helps please the gods of YouTube, and they have told me themselves they will smite thee if you do not do those things. So I don't make the rules, I'm just the messenger. Don't hate me, I'm just passing on some information. Anyway, before we head off into yon hills, I thought we'd cut back to a bit earlier in the week just to give a bit of context to how I'm feeling today. So earlier in the week I did a bit of baseline strength testing, and as a result of that I have got some pretty severe early onset tendonitis in sort of top end of my calves, I think, or just a bit of compression from being in wraps, being a bit overloaded for a couple of weeks. I did go above the prescription earlier in the week for RPE8 triples, just because my guesses on sort of rep ranges were a little bit off, and I'm a little bit out of practice on really heavy sets that aren't singles, so my selection was pretty poor, to be honest. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut back to early in the week. I'm going to voice over how that session went, and then we're going to come back to today to go out in the hills. This is like Back to the Future, so don't say I do not provide highly cinematic quality videos, because this is a timeline that even, what are they called, David Benoff and DB Vice or something, the guys that were in Game of Thrones, those guys, even they would not be able to keep up with. So nonetheless, let's go back to Wednesday this week.
Like
Okay, so for the day I chose a 220 triple, which on paper should have been pretty solid, but as you're about to see, I'm not all that conditioned to heavier than a double. So when I hit rep number 3, things went pretty south. So up until this point, I was pretty convinced I was going to be sticking in wraps for a little bit longer to try and give 250 kilos another go. But I think at this point I've decided it's just putting too much stress through my body, so I'm going to go back to sleeves for the rest of the year. Rep number 1 moved really well, really happy with it, was sort of flying, thinking 3 was definitely in the bag, easy RPE8. Number 2, same story. Number 3, what happens next, who knows? I think it's just a lack of conditioning to a triple, but all in all, pleased with 220 for 3, but kind of pointless as a strength test as I'm now going to be in sleep.
That was not RPE8.
Bench press, who really cares, but worked up to 130 for a set of 3, had a tiny spot on the 3rd rep, which Campbell, my video guy, the snake has cut out, as he maybe thought I didn't want to show you that, but I'll be honest, that was what happened. Deadlifts, warming up, all felt pretty solid. Thought again I'd go for what I expected and planned on paper for the day, which was a 220 triple. Did the first one, felt solid. Second one felt pretty tough, and then just decided for the sake of my nervous system, for the sake of overall fatigue and how I felt after the squats, I'm just going to call it a double for the day. So some solid testing done. All right, so now that's out of the way, I'm going to get my jacket off, get my waterproof jacket on. Probably don't need head torches, it's just starting to lighten up a little bit as it's just sort of gone 7:30, 7:40, and then we're going to head up into the Pentlands to go Turnhouse Hill, Carnethy Hill, Scold Law, and back like this. For anyone that knows the area, for anyone that doesn't know the area, 3 peaks around 450 metres each, rolling hills, not too traily, more muddy with a bit of rock in between, but it's going to be good fun. Let's go and say good morning to the cows. CrossFit deadlift this one. Time to go. Has gone. Alright, so cars are actually eased off a fair amount, which is good because we were a little bit nervous coming in today about how they were going to feel. Hoping that I'm going to be able to squat on Monday, because I did try and squat yesterday and they were pretty tight in the bottom, so I think it might just be a combination of a lot of pressure from the wraps, really demanding heavy triple. I'm just not used to that sort of top end triple weight. I'm very conditioned to singles, so that might be the case. It might not, it might just be sort of an overloading niggle. I don't know, but we're going to scale things back after today. Not after today, we're scaling things back sort of today until things are better, and then see how we go from there. But everything is feeling decent. Cracking weather to get after it, cracking weather to just sort of remind myself that horrible wind, cold, rain is all part of the equation, and we are going to crack on to peak number 3. Number 3, Scald Law, the highest point in the Pentlands, and I don't think in the entire history of my YouTube channel I've ever had good weather up here. It's taken a proper turn today, temperatures plummeted, rain's picked up, wind's picked up, and I've worked really hard up that hill just to stay warm enough. So, as Jon Snow would say, winter is coming, and as somebody else would say, I think at some point, winter has come. Right, so job done, flat white and caramel shortcake secured. Johnny's just gone for a piss. Have I stopped that? No, I haven't. Alright, so just under 15k. I actually forgot to start my watch at the beginning, so that wasn't ideal, but data is on the screen for you here. Just a bit of a relaxed one, getting just more acclimatized to the hills, getting used to the weather again, given that I've had a bit of a niggle in my calves. They feel okay, it's a bit of a weird one. I'm wondering if it's just some sort of compression from the wraps or a bit of pressure on my tendons, who really knows. But either way, I'm definitely going to err on the side of caution, as I've got a big week next week. Trip down to Coventry for an exciting video that will become clear soon. But it was good to be back out in some proper, really poor weather, to be honest. It's good for heat dissipation, it keeps us cooler. Obviously waterproof's on. Johnny was actually really struggling, he'll tell you himself today, he was really struggling because he just he grabbed some boots on the way out of the door that were not optimal for today, even though he knew that he should have had heavy duty trail shoes on. He just grabbed ones that he thought would do the job, and on the descents, etc., had a really bad time. I was just saying how miserable your descents were because you're in the wrong shoes.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, really, how many times we've been up and down that hill. And there's not a huge difference in the shoes, but just that little, I don't know, half a mil, 2 mils, whatever, fucking tiny difference in the lug.
I'm in these things, and these are Sauconys.
I mean, these are decent lugs, but just not enough.
Not sharp enough. But
so I've been on, had the brakes on the whole time, it's frustrating.
Yeah, shit, isn't it? Shit, isn't it? So I've put those Sauconys on. I don't like these shoes at all. They're too stiff, they don't fit, no open toe box, don't like them. I bought them as a path of least resistance earlier in the year, but I was actually very pleased to have that aggressive lugs today. Ultra don't make them, Viva don't have them at the moment, so this is kind of the least of several evils at the moment. But I'm glad to have had some aggressive logs because it's proper muddy, slidey up there, as you've probably seen. We're going to get this down us. I'm going to head home. I've got to drop Johnny at the house because the shoes aren't the only brake issues he's had this week. That's a car joke, by the way. His car's in the garage. So anyway, I will see you very soon. Hello, good evening. A fair amount of hours have passed since we last spoke, but I have something delightful ready to go. So here we have some sautéed mushrooms, garlic and spinach with some shallots. Delicious, delicious. We have 2, not 1, but 2 sirloin steaks with a whole load of peppercorn sauce and garlic, and then some grilled asparagus here. So quite the feast, but I've not really had that much since I got home a few hours ago. I also have some red wine because I'm a sophisticated man. Anyway, Erin is out at a wedding tonight that I wasn't invited to. What a shame, what a shame. And I'm going to finally use this as an opportunity to get this food down me and watch the... I'm just being very careful I don't spill any juices on myself here. But I'm going to watch the Kipchoge documentary, as I've been meaning to do so for a while, and Erin isn't that into it, so we've never had a chance to get it done thus far. Harley, stop rubbing yourself on the sofa. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, I'm going to get this down me, crack on. I think... just about covered everything I need to really with the run today. As I said, sort of a bit of trouble with the mud, the wind, the rain, etc. It was tough out there today, but it was good fun. Covered everything with my calves, they're feeling okay now. Covered everything from the gym earlier in the week, but I'm still torn on whether I'm going to stay in wraps for the next couple of weeks or just go back to sleeves, because I'm kind of sick of them and they're a faff. They might have been the reason I hurt my calves. I don't know. Anyway, I'm wasting time. I have 2 steaks to get through, so I'm not going to keep much more of your time at this stage. But what I will do is request that if you have enjoyed the video, that you give it a like, you subscribed and you comment down below. That's the only way I'm going to know if you've enjoyed this, and I can give you more of this sort of content. That is episode number 2 of the wintering out of the way. Whole load more content to come, lots of exciting stuff coming in the next couple of weeks, so do stay tuned. Thank you very much to all of you that have subscribed. And before we go, one last thing to say, this is the new Gymshark Power range, and it is sick, so please do get yourself some if you would be so kind. And if you were being so kind part 2, please use my link in the description down below and let me know in the comments so I can say thank you. And the final thing is, when you next see me, I will be absent of beard as we are entering the month of Movember. And for those that don't know, that is a very important month for me. You can go back in time on my YouTube videos, on my Instagram, etc. and find out exactly why. We will be going into more details on that in the next couple of weeks. Anyway, one more time, hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.